those moments like that makes me realize that how grateful I am, and that God really plans me to be on that specific time. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and on my first video I mentioned a little bit of information how I was able to come to Canada and why I came here. But for today's video I'm going to be talking about my journey before I was even able to fly to Canada as a student. And so if you're interested, please stay tuned to this video and let's begin. So yes, let's begin. So just a disclaimer guys, this video is solely based on my experience, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you international students that comes here in Canada, particularly also students from the Philippines. There's different ways to do the student visa to come here in Canada, and on my experiences I went to an education services agency to process my visa. And also, this video is not sponsored by the agency that helped me process my visa. So yes, it all started around the last quarter of 2017 when one of my good friend posted on her Facebook account that she will be coming to Canada to pursue her master's degree in tourism management. And so we came from the same school in Malaysia, so I messaged her. I tried to ask for information how she was able to do it and where did she get the information as well. And just after getting all the information, I was kind of disappointed at first because there's a lot of money involved and I don't have any savings to even pay for the agency that processed her papers. Come early January, I tried to talk to my sister regarding on my plans to come to Canada as a student and to pursue my master's degree. Since I'm already in the tourism industry, I wanted to pursue my passion in the tourism and travel management. And so I sent my resume to the education services, which is Worldwide Education Services. They're based in Cebu. And so I got a reply after a few days that I am qualified for a master's degree program at Royal Roads University. So with that email, I got this motivation to really encourage my sisters to support me and also help me to be able to come to Canada as a student. I just thought of like talking to her about my plans. A few days after, I got her message that she's interested of the idea to start the application process. I sent an email to the agency to process my papers. And just a little bit of heads up, especially those who are in the Philippines right now who's planning to come to Canada as a student, that there's different types of student applications. Particularly based on my experience, I applied through an agency, an accredited agency that would process papers for you to become a student. There are also other ways you can do on your own, processing your own papers. But because at that time I was already trying to rush my papers to get into the April intake, and that is actually a few months before class starts. And on my case, the agency was the best option. So here are the steps to get a student visa to Canada, particularly through an agency. Step 1. Contact an accredited education services agency in your area. It is very important to really research for an accredited education service agency in your area, or if not around your area, to really search for an accredited, especially those who are in the Philippines who have plans to migrate in Canada as a student, to really research for the agency if they're accredited, search through their Facebook page, through their website, and also try to contact if sometimes they actually publish some students who are already successful to their field here in Canada, and sometimes they publish them through their website or through their Facebook page. And so if you have any chance to message them, ask some informations, how was the experience like. That would help and give you a piece of really investing your money to become a student and to become an immigrant here in Canada. It is very important as well that they are accredited and they are legit. And one of the easiest way to come to Canada as an immigrant is to become a student. Step 2. Getting all the requirements. So after all the informations you get from the agency that you message, or if you have any communications with your agency already, I'm pretty sure you're already bombarded with all the requirements. Based on my experience, I received an email with a whole list of requirements that I need to comply. Educational background, financial background, finance, bank statements and all that. They will actually give it to you as part of the requirement. So with all these requirements, don't be overwhelmed of these requirements. Stay focused. The sooner you get all the requirements, the better, because the waiting time for the student application is very crucial, especially if you're actually rushing for an intake. All your time, but don't be complacent of getting all the requirements, because the sooner you get all the requirements, the better. Type of student visa application is the regular stream, and on this regular stream you will be required to show an amount of money in your bank that will prove that you will be able to sustain your cost of living here in Canada. And so with this regular stream, it will take few months to do the application. You will have to wait for a few months or 2 to 3 months or even longer to get a result of the application. And the second option will be direct stream. The direct stream is the fastest way to come here in Canada as a student, because the processing time usually takes just 20 calendar days. And there are 3 main requirements for this as based on my experience. And number 1, you need to have an IELTS examination. You need to have an IELTS certificate in order for you to be qualified to have a direct stream. Number 2, the Guaranteed Investment Certificate. So the Guaranteed Investment Certificate, or the GIC, is a way for the government to know that you will be able to support your cost of living here in Canada for at least 1 year. And the third requirement for this direct stream is the 1-year cost of tuition in your university. So once you're already qualified to a university, or you've been accepted to be enrolled to a certain institution here in Canada, they will actually stipulate of the 1-year cost of tuition. Through that, you will actually pay the tuition for 1 year, and once you get the receipt, you're good with the third requirement. So there you go, guys. That's the 2 types of student visa application: the regular stream and direct stream. So yeah, going back to my process, around January 15, 2018, I submitted my application and my interest to the agency to process my student visa application. Early February, I started my English examination review. I stayed in Cebu for almost a month to do the review and the examination, and I also took my medical examination when I was there. After I submitted my English examination result, the application was kind of problematic already after that because of some financial reasons. We've already invested, me and my sister already invested a lot of money from the English examination and from the review and the examination itself, from the medical, my cost of living in Cebu when I stayed there for around 1 month, and we're already almost out of funds. And yeah, I just prayed so hard how we could actually push through this application, because we're already running out of time. A lot of tears that came out because I really don't know. I'm really stressed out of how we are able to push through this application, because we are currently running out of funds, and we don't want to waste the time. We don't want to waste the money that we already invested. We were able to submit all the requirements and application forms for the visa application around, if I'm not mistaken, the middle of March. And from there it's the waiting game. And I got my approval. Another exciting thing that happened to me that tested my faith in God was the email that I have to be in Canada in a certain time. and by that time we haven't booked any ticket yet, and since we don't know yet when will my passport be arriving at the agency, so we haven't booked any flight ticket yet to Canada, and that was very stressful moment for us because we don't know when to book a ticket, and I know that I should be in Canada on May 15 or not. University will advise you to take the next intake, which is the following year, and we don't want to do that. And so we traveled to Cebu without knowing when will the passport be, and so we stayed there for a few days, and finally after a few days we got our passport. But on that day when I got my passport, I got an email from the university suggesting that if I will not be here in the next 24 hours, I should be able to consider getting the next intake, which is the following year. This is the most stressful part in flying to Canada, based on my experience. Was around 6 p.m. I got my passport from the agency, took some papers, signed some papers and everything. My brother-in-law booked a ticket at around 8 p.m. to Canada, and I got my passport around 6 p.m. so we need to get back to the hotel, and it was rush hour at that time in Cebu. After I got my passport and signed some papers at the agency, we rushed through the hotel, packed everything. I was already rushing, and I am very nervous if I could make it to an international flight. And so yeah, when I took a taxi, I explained the taxi what's gonna happen. So we passed through the hotel and took all my luggages and everything, and from there we rushed to the airport. And with looking at the time, I don't know if I could make it to the international flight with the check-in time and then the departure time. I am already nervous, and on my way to the airport I really just broke down. I had all my tears, just praying to God that if this is really mine, you will actually give it to me. He will give it to me. I should be able to make it to the flight, and I'm already, like, I have a whole lots of emotions already. I couldn't be able to. I just broke down, and I just broke down, thinking of all the processes I took, thinking of my family that I'm gonna leave, and my parents, and it will be in a different journey. It will be a different world that I'm gonna going into. It will be on the opposite side of the globe. All those thoughts just keep crashing me, and made me broke down at that time. I was just crying and crying inside the taxi on the way to the airport, holding my mother's hands, and my mother's hug was just so comforting, telling me that this is my dream. It was just one of the memorable that I will never forget. Those moments like that makes me realize that how grateful I am, and that God really plans me to be on that specific time. And I always remember this, that I will always remember the hug of my mother when I was still in the taxi. Her hands, just so comforting, that assured me that I will be fine in Canada. And I know that my father is not a showy person. He's not a showy person, but I know deep in my heart that he's happy for me, and he is so proud of me that I'm gonna be coming here as a student. And I can see, I felt his love at that time. He's so quiet, and it was just, I know that he is happy. I know that he is happy. He was happy at that time. So yeah, and so by the time the taxi arrived at the airport, we rushed through the gate and took all my luggages. One thing that another tested my faith was seeing a whole bunch of people lining up at the gate. I don't know if I can make it through that line. I don't know if I could make it to my flight. Looking at this line at the security gate, I don't know if I could make it to my on time of my check-in time. And I just took a leap of faith. I really just rushed through the main security gate. I told them that I'm actually catching a flight and I will be late. And the guard was very accommodating. He was telling me that, oh, you will be fine, you'll be able to get on time. And so with that information, I had the courage and had that confidence that I will make it. And another memorable moment at that time was seeing my sister so I just saw their faces again. I just saw their reactions, and they were just so happy. And my mother took some cash on her wallet, like a couple of hundreds, or like just a few hundreds, and that moment was so memorable for me and so touching, and I will never forget that moment when she was like, "This is for you, take care of yourself." And my dad, my father, was just at the side of the gate. I know that he can't look at me properly, but I know that he was so proud of me and is telling me that you'll be okay, take care. My sister rushed to an ATM machine and got more money because I don't have enough. I'm pretty sure that I don't have enough money on me flying to Canada. And so I just want to make sure that when I arrive there, I have money to spend, probably for the taxi or something, for food. It will be a Canadian dollar. So yeah, she rushed through an ATM machine, gave me more money, and yeah, I rushed to the security gate, the check-in counter, and once I finished the check-in time at the check-in counter, I'm already fine. I was fine. I went straight to the gate, but from there, since I didn't really had a chance to really properly say goodbye to my parents and to my sister, I called them and they're outside, and my sister was telling me that my parents were actually shocked of what happened. They're currently just right outside sitting at the departure area, and I know, and my sister's telling me that they were kind of shocked and they don't know what to say. they were just right there sitting for a few minutes and just don't know what to do after that. And talking to them on over the phone, I broke down again. I was telling them that I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be okay here in Canada. I will actually push through my dreams of coming here and finish my studies. I will do good and finish everything. I'm gonna make them proud. And I believe most of us would go there and follow our dreams just because we have someone who will actually trust, and we have someone that will be proud for us. And on my case, that will be my parents and my family. And so yeah, I flew a few minutes after I arrived in the check-in at the gate. It was already a departure time, so it was just right on time. It was God's plan, really. That's one thing that I always remember, that it was actually arranged in a specific time. I just have to experience that to really trust my faith to God. And 12 to 15 hours after, I landed in Vancouver International Airport at around 9 p.m. And because I have to take another flight to Victoria, I don't have any chance to really buy the ticket for my flight from Vancouver to Canada. And the last flight was actually around 10 p.m. And because I had to wait at the immigration area for my papers, I didn't have any chance to catch the last flight. And so I bought a ticket at the counter and bought it early in the morning at around 7 a.m. And so I spent my whole night at the airport, the Vancouver International Airport. And yeah, I slept for quite a while, but I was more excited of my next flight to Victoria. It was like around 30 minutes flight only to Victoria. And around 12 midnight or around that time, I got an email from the university that I should be able to consider already the next intake, since I'm already late for a few days. I replied to their email that I'm already in Canada, I'm already in Vancouver, I will be there tomorrow on the class. And so at around 7 a.m. I took my flight. After I arrived at the airport, at Victoria International Airport, I took a taxi to my friend's house, Nelly's apartment, and I told the taxi as well to be there. I should be there at this specific time because I need to go to school. And I arrived there at the apartment, took my breakfast, just washed my face and went to school. And so yeah, I didn't even feel tired at that time. I didn't feel any jet lag after that day. It was just a day of it was a whirlwind. It was a very memorable experience for me, and it was a unique situation. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of great experiences for you guys, especially those Filipinos who are here in Canada, who came here as students. And I'm pretty sure we all have different and unique situations and experiences and memorable experiences, and that we always look back. And if you have any of those experiences, I would love to hear you guys, and we get motivated and inspired by those stories, and we cried and we laugh about it. And hope that those who are planning to come here in Canada to become an immigrant and become a student will be able to have the same experiences as well. Not the same as mine, but have the experience that you will always remember and look back, and because of that will give you more motivation each day once you're already in a real world, especially here in Canada. So there you go, guys. That was a whole lot of information and stories about my journey. I hope you enjoyed this video and you've learned a lesson. I hope you like and share this video, and please subscribe on my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so that you will be notified on my next video. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your day. And always remember, everything happens for a reason. Thank you so much. Till next video. Bye!